Systematic theology is the practice of logically organizing the Bible's teachings. It collects and summarizes various Bible verses and passages on a given topic. Gerald Bray defines systematic theology as the attempt to put Christian doctrine in logical order, often starting from one fundamental principle, an approach that goes all the way back to early Christianity. An example of systematic theology would be to ask the question, what does the Bible teach about hell? And then we would go and find verses and collect verses that talk about hell, and we would deduce from those verses a biblical doctrine of hell. Biblical theology, on the other hand, is the practice of understanding the progressive unfolding nature of the Bible's teachings. According to monergism.com, biblical theology approaches the Bible as an organic drama of God's unfolding revelation through history. In distinction from doctrinal or systematic theology, biblical theology follows the progressive unfolding revelation of God's words and deeds through history. Geerhardus Voss described the organic continuum of revelation in history as a flower expanding from bud to blossom. An example of biblical theology would be to trace the motif of God's dwelling with man across the Bible, how the idea is developed across the Bible, and how it reaches its fulfillment. Biblical theology is concerned with tracing the biblical development of an area over the Old Testament to the New. Biblical theology is tied up with God's redemptive plan to save a people for himself. One way to think of the distinction is that systematic theology is more logically focused, while biblical theology is more narrative focused. So think of systematic theology as looking at the Bible laid out in front of us, and then we ask a specific question, and then we search the scriptures to find the answer. But biblical theology is more concerned about the process of scripture being revealed to us, and how the Bible develops certain areas, and especially how it relates to the redemptive plan of God. Once we understand biblical and systematic theology, we can better understand theological systems. The two most common in the United States are dispensationalism and covenant theology. Both of these systems are blendings of biblical and systematic theology. They both compile verses in a coherent system and seek to explain them, and at the same time they look at how the Bible unfolds across the canon, and they come to different doctrinal conclusions based on their findings. I will be making a video in the future on dispensationalism and covenant theology. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching.